to episode number 13 of the Soggy Kookaburra podcast. My name's Kathy. I'm coming to you from a small town in North Wales where I live with my husband, our teenage son, and our two cats, Pickle and Puka, who you may or may not see roaming around throughout the video. Anyway, if it's your first time joining us, welcome aboard the crafty train. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for sticking with me. I know I've been a little bit AWOL for the last couple of months, but I am back on track. So, shall we crack on? Oh, before I start, if you enjoy this video and you'd like to see more, please think about subscribing and click that notification bell so that you can get a little notification whenever I upload, usually once a month when I'm, organised. Usually once a month. So today is Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, the 6th of May, and I have been quite busy with my knitting. I suppose first off, whoop, there's a cat. First off, what I'm wearing. I finally finished my winter wine drops air sweater. It's a raglan top down and absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's the most beautiful fabric. I started this in January with my dear friend Emma. We were doing a bit of a sweater along and I have just finished it. And to be honest, for a first attempt, I am pretty impressed. This is the yarn that I used, drops air. And it's an alpaca, baby alpaca and merino wool blend. So it's absolutely lovely. It's very fluffy, very light. So I'm really pleased with this sweater. So things that I learned doing this. One, I'm not as big as I think I am. This is, I like an oversized sweater, but this is a little oversized. So I think when I make another one, and I will, I'm gonna go down a size. So I think I did XXL. For this, and really I could have done with an XL, but because I wasn't confident in my gauge, I did want to make it slightly bigger than I thought I'd needed. And you know what, in the winter when I'm layering up, it's probably going to be fine. It is surprisingly warm. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm actually sweating. I've got the window open, and it's not a particularly warm day, so it's very warm. It's very light. It's not at all itchy, which I was a little concerned about. I've made the sleeves nice and long because I like to do that when it's cold. I'm just really pleased with it. I'm quite proud of myself, like, considering I've never made anything more ambitious than a pair of socks or a blanket or whatever. A sweater, an actual item of clothing. I have crocheted a sweater before, but it didn't really work for me. It was a little too dense, whereas this is absolutely perfect because it's nice and light. So yeah, so this is in peacock blue and I am ridiculously pleased with it. It's lovely and fuzzy. I haven't blocked it because I haven't the faintest idea how to, and I'm sorry there's a cat sitting in front of the camera. What are you doing? Hey? Come here. Oh, there's a little tat. She wants to go outside and she's not allowed. Uh-oh. That is a potential issue with this sweater, is cat claws are going to get caught in it. So I'll just have to be a bit careful about where I wear it. Probably not at home bumming on the couch with cats all over me. So anyway, yeah, really pleased. Finished object. It's only taken me 5 months, which actually for a first sweater is not bad in my opinion. Anyway, so yes, very pleased with that. As I say, it is Winter Wine by Drops. On to works in progress. So I'm still working on socks. The reason that I didn't podcast last month is primarily because I have been absolutely under the cosh at work. And so I get home and I've not been knitting because my brain is pretty much dead by that point. And I figured you probably didn't need to watch an entire episode of me talking about how much I hadn't done any knitting. Ergo, no episode last month. But I have been knitting the last couple of weeks as things settle down a bit at work. So, these are the socks that I'm working on for my dear friend Emma's partner, for when I go and visit them in the States in September. It's just a vanilla sock pattern. And the yarn, oh crikey, what is the yarn? Oh, it's Patterns Croy socks. This particular colourway is tourmaline stripes, apparently. little 50-gram balls, and 75% washable wool and 25% nylon. Very good budget yarn, particularly if you're in the States, where places like Michael's and Joann's can have them very, very cheap indeed. But anyway, so because this is a man-sized sock, I knew that a 50-gram ball was not going to cut it for a full sock. So it's a size 10 UK. I'm really quite pleased with it. So what I've done is I've got this lovely grey bamboo rayon yarn, which I've made Stuart actually socks out of this yarn, so I know it wears very well. And so what I've done is actually put that yarn for the heels, and I think it's a pretty good match. And also for the toes, or toe, singular. So that worked out really well because I literally used the end of the ball when I got to the toe decreases. So that is one 50-gram ball in its entirety. I quite like it. It's very muscular, very manly, very masculine. And I really like the way that the stripes have come out. I think that the contrast yarn is not too contrasty. Yeah, so I'm almost finished the first sock on that. I'll probably knock that off today, to be honest. It'll take me 15 minutes once I sit down and actually do it. So, yeah, and then I can crack on with the second one. I've got plenty of time because it's only May and I'm not going over until September. That's the grey yarn. It's Premier Yarns, Deborah Norville. And it is this Serenity sock weight. And it's 50% superwash merino, 50% bamboo fibre, and... No, it's not. I lie. It's 50% superwash merino, 25% rayon from bamboo, and 25% nylon. Don't mind me, I'm having a morning. And that is living in my little stripy project bag. So that is my next project for this afternoon, is actually to crack on, just finish that sock, and then I can start on the second one. For me, the second one seems to go more quickly than the first. I, excuse me, need coffee. I don't suffer from second sock syndrome especially. I find that the first sock seems to take the longest to do, and once I've got all my numbers right, then I can just copy it for the second one, so I just whiz along. Anyway, so that's stripy man socks for Emma's partner, which is exciting. And then my other pair of socks that I've been working on are for me. I finished one. I'll show you. So it's a half finished object. I think I showed you this last time. Very colourful. I love that, how it's gone that on the heel. That just makes me so ridiculously happy. So that's one sock, and I am, where am I up to? I think I'm up to the heel turn, which is why maybe this is stalled. It's not exactly mindless, the heel turn. Yeah, pretty much up to the heel turn on that. This yarn, really funky. Really, really funky yarn. It is Opal. And I'm not going to try and pronounce that because it's not in English, but there it is. It's Opal yarn. And I think it's colour 9617. It's German yarn. It's fab. You know what? It's not super soft, but it wears like iron, which, as you know from my love affair with West Yorkshire spinners, that is actually a prime consideration because it takes me so bloody long to make a pair of socks. I want them to last years and years and years and years. I haven't, touch wood, haven't had to learn how to darn socks yet, but I will do that when they start getting holes. They will be darning. So this is my last pair for myself for a while. Excuse me, start that again. This is my last pair for myself for a while, partially because we're going into summer, so less requirement for thick socks. And also my sock box is full, and I can't really wear my socks to work very often because they don't really fit inside my tight boots. Obviously, if I'm wearing stilettos or pumps or whatever, they look a bit silly. So I can really only wear my socks on the weekend. I have 6 pairs of socks in my sock box. This will be the 7th. That is more than sufficient. So I think I'm going to take a break from making socks for me. And Seb, our son, has asked for another pair, and I'm sure Stu will take on another pair. And I've got a wonderful pen pal, Sarah, who lives in New Orleans, and she has very kindly agreed to be a sock mannequin for me. So I'm going to make some socks for her at some point as well. So plenty of gift knitting. Oh, and also my mum may be moving to a slightly colder area, so I need to get some socks on the needles for her as well. But again, no big rush. This is my hobby, so I do it as and when. So they're the projects that I'm currently working on. As for upcoming projects, well, I've got 3 of these balls from my sweater left. Sorry, there's another cat. Pickle, what are you doing? It's the other cat. It's a wide open window. That's what they just, ooh, it smells nice, interesting. I want to go out. And that's not happening because these are indoor cats. Right, so as I was saying, I have 3 leftover full balls of this. Now they're 50 gram balls, I think. I think they're 50 gram balls, but they're only 150 meters because the yarn is so blown. It's just, yeah, it's not like quite the same as your standard Aran weight or whatever. It's very, very light, very, I think I've shown you before, you can kind of maybe see, it's almost mesh. It's amazing. This yarn is absolutely amazing. Anyway, I've got 3 balls left, so I'm like, what am I going to do with this? So I found a pattern using this yarn. Because it's such a specialist yarn, I kind of want to use a pattern by the yarn producers. There we go. A little beanie. So I don't know whether this will be a beanie for me, because there's a little part of me that likes to be matchy-matchy and wear beanie and sweater in the winter. Or whether it is, sorry, cat again, something I might knit for somebody else, like maybe my mum, because cold. But yeah, so it's designed to be knit with 2 strands held together, and it's just basically, it's a rib hat. Nice and easy. I've got the right size needles. I think one of my pen pals actually sent me some 7mm circular 40 centimeter needles. So I think I've got the right size needles. It says that it needs 100 grams, which is 2 balls, which will be ample, and then I'll still have 1 left over. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that final one. I might make myself pussycats in the picture. I might make myself a little pair of wristlets or something. But yeah, so that is my next cast on project. I'm feeling a little bit excited about that, but I do also feel like I need a little break from this color, because if you've done it, knitting a sweater, it's a hell of an investment. Like, even a straightforward top-down raglan like this, which, let's be honest, is not complicated. Though I have to say, I would not have attempted it without Tina at Simply in Stitches. She's got a YouTube channel. Do check her out. She's done a fantastic tutorial on this particular sweater, and it was exactly the help that I needed to give me the confidence to try it. I don't think I would have ever attempted a sweater without Tina's guidance. So now I feel like, well, do you know what? I've done one. I can probably muddle through another one. And then just refer back to her videos if I need them. More coffee, sorry. I feel like I'm going a million miles an hour. Right, so yeah, it's a hell of an investment, so I'm a little bit tired of looking at this colour as much as I love it, and I do. I think I might take a little break from this particular yarn. That can just go put away somewhere. I am going to Spain next month, and it's hand luggage only. So I have ordered some bamboo circular needles, which will be suitable for this pattern, and I'm really hoping that whatever airline I'm flying on will let me take bamboo. I know they won't let me take metal needles, but will they let me take bamboo needles, hopefully. Even if they don't, Cat, she just wants to be involved today. Even if they don't let me, they're not expensive bamboo needles, you know, I think they were like a couple of pounds each. So yeah, no great dramas, but I'm hoping that I can take them with me, because I'm going to be spending a few days chilling out in Spain by the pool. And what do you do when you go to a warm sunny country? Well, if you're me, you knit. So I'm surely going to get some odd looks over there, but that's okay. I'm quite used to that. So that is really being invaded by cats today. That is where I'm up to with all my yarny goodness. I was incredibly excited to see that we are up to 48 subscribers. Now, if you recall, I said when we got to 50 subscribers, I would do a giveaway, and so I will. So the giveaway is going to be for essentially a Getting Started Knitting Socks set. So that will include a ball of sock yarn, and I'll have a few different ones so the winner can choose what one they want. A 9-inch circular needle, which is my preference for knitting socks. My favourite vanilla sock pattern, which is just a free one on Ravelry, so, you know, no copyright issues, it's all good. A project bag and some other little goodies, stitch markers, etc. And that will be going out to the lucky winner. So hopefully by next podcast, we will be up to 50 and I will be able to tell you how to enter said competition and a little giveaway. It's not going to be anything complex. It'll just be something like comment on this video or whatever. But yeah, so that's kind of exciting. Almost up to 50. That's not bad, I think, for a kind of a niche podcast. And not only is it niche, but let's be honest, I'm not necessarily the most interesting person to talk to, or listen to rather. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that actually, considering that 12 months ago I, you know, wasn't even really sure what I was doing. So yeah, that's kind of the extent of it. We've got a giveaway coming up hopefully next episode if we hit 50 subscribers. Share the heck out of this. You know, get it out there on social media for me. I'll be doing a link in on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram. I'm the Soggy Kookaburra there. I'm on Ravelry. We have a group called the Soggy Kookaburra Podcast. You can find me all over the interwebs. And I would be absolutely thrilled if you would like to share this with perhaps some other crafty friends that you think might enjoy it. And then we can go for this giveaway. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that is pretty much it. I am going to crack on with the rest of my day. I hope that you have had a good couple of months knitting, crocheting, crafting, whatever it is that you've been doing. And I hope that you enjoy the next month. And I shall see you again very, very soon. Bye.